Super excited to have a beautiful Kylie here today. We are going to have a chat about her journey. I am so grateful that I have had the opportunity to work with you. And I just feel like you sharing your journey here will be like really relatable to so many women that are listening in and feeling and experiencing what you were and where you were. And you can explain like where you are now. So I can't wait to hear this and be able to push it out to everyone. And maybe start with just like before we met, where you think how things were, like where were you at, like what was happening?
Yeah, thanks, Chanel, and thank you for your kind words. Look, I think I might just start with to say how grateful I am and wish I'd met you 10 years ago because um, I think, being in front of menopause is so important. And if I'd met you ten years ago, I probably wouldn't have had to suffer as much as I did.
Mhm.
Um, so what I was like, where I was in prior to meeting you, Chanel, I was going through the peri-menopause symptoms, but I didn't know that at that point of time. Um, that was for about 2 years before I was post-menopause. So I'm 53 now.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't until I was at the peak of my perimenopause symptoms that I realized that something serious was happening and it was out of control.
So
Um,
maybe explain so people tuning in, like explain some of those symptoms so we can,
yeah.
because I know this, like you just even explaining and starting, is that women don't understand. Like I was the same. I was in this perimenopause stage, had no idea. Like we do not get taught this. Like, so
Mhm.
maybe explain some of the symptoms, like what was happening.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Chanel. They say, I think people have done research out there, like there's like 30 plus
Yes.
menopause symptoms, something like that.
Yeah.
It's massive. And I actually started to diarize my symptoms, and I have a top seven.
Wow.
I have a top seven.
You'll be
And
writing a book soon.
oh my, yeah, I think I could. So the worst of my symptoms was the weight gain and the bloating,
Mhm.
um, the night sweats, the heat, the heat flashes,
Mhm.
the joint pain and the inflammation. Whew, that's a
Mhm.
good one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The lack of motivation and energy, just tired all the time and having afternoon naps,
Mhm.
and just couldn't work out why. I just couldn't get up in the mornings, and I couldn't do like walking up a hill, and I'd be have to go and have a sit down and have a rest. It was crazy. Um, Brain fog,
Yeah, that's a
that's
bad one.
massive, isn't it, Chanel?
A bad.
I just thought there was a stage there. I didn't think I was able to go to work because
Mm,
someone
mm,
would tell me something to do a task, and I'd have to write it down because I'd forget it in the next
mm.
2 minutes.
You feel like you're losing your mind actually. That
Yeah.
you feel like is I'm like, have I got Alzheimer's? Like it is like not fun.
And it's interesting that you say that because with your mind, you start to think, okay, what is wrong with me? Do I have
Mhm.
arthritis?
Mm,
Am
mm,
I going down that road of Alzheimer's? Like you
mm,
start to
mhm.
think of the worst
It's
things that
scary.
might be
Yep.
happening to
Mm,
your body. And the food cravings out of control.
yeah.
Oh gosh, out of control.
Mhm.
So it's just a real massive roller coaster of symptoms, emotions, and each day was different with those symptoms. Each day would not be the same. They would be different, and then a new symptom would pop up, and it's like, oh God, this is exhausting.
Mm. And it is exhausting. It is
It's
exhausting. That's why I think you feel like you're on an island, like because the rest of your family think that they don't know, they do not understand what's going on. You feel like the aliens have taken over your body and you're like, where have I gone? Like, it's like you don't, it's like you're having an out of body experience. It's like, this is actually not me, but it's me. Like, I'm having to live this every day, but this is surely not what my life is. That's how I felt.
Yeah, I literally felt someone had come across and just sucked the life out of me
Mm,
and
mm,
just left the shell.
mm,
And I
mm,
just felt flat. Um,
mm.
I didn't feel myself at all. I felt Kylie's gone. She has gone. Don't know where she's gone. And I had to have that conversation with my husband
Yeah.
because I had to tell him what
Mm,
was going on for me, for
mm.
him to understand. At some stage, I just couldn't stand him being near me because I would just attack him. And that's not fair on him emotionally either. So it
How
doesn't,
was he? How was that? Because we actually don't talk about this very much. This is quite a good, like, probably topic to open up a little bit about. How
yeah.
how was that? How did it go?
I just felt it wasn't fair on him. Um, and I needed to have that conversation with him. And it
Mhm.
was difficult for me because I I had to put myself in a vulnerable
Mm. Yeah.
stage. Um, and just telling him I need help and I need you to understand where I am at emotionally.
Mm.
And if I do get upset with you, I don't mean to. It's just these symptoms are just taking over my emotions.
Mm.
So if I do get upset with you, please don't take any offense to it. And he was really good. He was really receptive to that. He was
Mm.
like, "Oh, okay, I get it. I won't take it personally."
This is
So
this is so good to share, I think, because look, I know how many women listen to the podcast and tune in. And so this particular thing, this is a great tip. Like I think
mm.
what you've just shared, those listening in, if you're in this spot, this would be a good conversation to have.
Yeah, look, it did make a difference, Chanel. Like, I think for our relationship moving forward, and I think that's really important as well because once you know what's happening to yourself, um, and your relationship will just flourish and improve from then on if you have that conversation for sure.
Yeah, I love that.
Um, yeah,
So
no,
where did we connect? How did you come about finding me?
yeah. So I was on the search for help, for solutions, and how do I get out of this rut that I was in? I started listening to podcasts, and yeah, your podcast came up, and the menopause nutritionist. I was like, oh wow, someone's actually talking about it. I was like, oh, this is so good. This is so good because I was having conversations with people that I knew and trying to get people to relate to me in terms of where I was at. But I found it difficult. People didn't want to open up about it. They didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I felt alone. But when I found your podcast, Chanel, I didn't feel alone anymore. It was like, yes, someone's on this journey with me. And um, and when I saw that photo of you, Chanel, with your with your belly fat, I was like, yep, that's where I am. And I felt like I could relate to you
Yeah, cool. That's
and
awesome.
and I thought, yes, I listened to all your podcasts because I love them so much, and I was learning a lot about myself, learning about why all that I was receiving all these symptoms, and learning about how I could actually improve my lifestyle, how I could make that change, and I thought, wow, there is hope out there. Definitely there is hope out there. And when you introduced your 7-day protein challenge, which is free, so I thought, wow, I'm going to try this. This could be an opportunity for me to get out of my rut and just change my life, change my lifestyle, and get healthy and get back to where I was before, get my life back. So
And how was the protein challenge?
yeah, look, I came into the protein challenge after a 6-week holiday. So I was very, very relaxed and really, really keen to start losing weight and because I drank a lot of alcohol too on the holiday. So I was like, oh yes, this might be a good option for me to have a bit of a detox too. Um, Look, I found the protein challenge a really good starter from the perspective of education, just understanding what I needed to eat because I was just starving myself. I was literally starving myself, and I didn't know that until I started the protein challenge.
Mhm.
So I'd starve myself all day, and then I'd get home in the evening and I'd be just in that pantry cupboard, just eating everything and anything I could see. And that would be when I get home from work at 5 o'clock. And
Yeah,
then I'd have dinner as well. So I'd be consuming just massive amount of calories.
yeah.
So
Probably 50 calories, like we talk about, that
yeah,
aren't sustaining you. They're not going to be giving you energy. You know, you could keep eating them because you're still like, hungry. So yeah. And this is really common with our generation because we grew up with the supermodels that were like waifs, and we've pretty much gone through our life like thinking that to lose weight, we just have to like eat less and exercise more. And so we have to like, and that's why you were doing it, because in the past that probably had worked. But once you hit 40, that does not work anymore. And so this is where we get caught in this like rut, right?
oh, absolutely. I think the takeaways for me, what I learned in the protein challenge was prioritizing my protein in my meals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it also it also taught me to be a lot more organized with my preparing my meals
Mm-hmm.
and planning ahead. Um, my husband would open the fridge and he'd go, "Whoa, the fridge has exploded." And I'm like, yeah, this is a good thing. All that food will go by the end of the week
Mm-hmm.
because I'd done all my meal prep. Um, and I loved it. What I loved about the meal prep was you do one shop a week. You don't have to think about what you're cooking every night.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you found that you had more time to yourself
Yeah.
because you weren't always cooking meals. You just
Mm-hmm.
go to the fridge, your meals there. It's
Yeah.
just so easy.
Yeah.
So you have this more time to yourself. The time management is definitely helps with that protein challenge in respect for that. You just get more out of your day,
Yeah.
more out of your day. But I think what I also found too when I started the protein challenge, because it's a big change.
Mm-hmm.
You're changing your habits, all those bad habits. So you're changing the way um, that you go about your day. So
Mm-hmm.
I think the best advice I would say is just take it small steps.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I had goals.
Yeah.
I set myself some goals, and my first goal was to get more energy out of my day. And that protein challenge at the end of the week, I was energized. It was like, it was amazing. It's like, oh, I got all this energy. And because I had more energy, then I felt like I could put more effort into my day, more effort into the protein challenge. I could put more effort into my exercising, drinking more water. Um, and that was a big tick for me.
Yeah.
Just to be more energized.
Yeah.
And then
For sure.
because I was more energized with the food, I was full. I wasn't having snacks. I wasn't craving. I wasn't eating junk food. I'd stopped drinking. I actually decreased my alcohol
Yeah.
substantially. And I was feeling amazing. I was just like, yes, I am on board here. This is good. It works. It
Yeah.
works.
So good.
So I highly, highly recommend the protein challenge and just taking small steps.
Mm.
Um, my second goal was to reduce the body fat. I didn't really want to focus on the scales. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to focus on that number. I just wanted to get rid of that body fat. And it
Mm.
happened. It started to happen.
So at
It,
the end of the protein challenge, you were like, I want to continue these results. Like, so that's why you joined the Thrive program. Was that your thought process around it?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was just so on board with the protein challenge and I wanted more of this.
Mhm.
And that's when I joined the Thrive program. Um, and then I found I started to fit back into my clothes. Like that was amazing. Like opening my whole wardrobe and it was all there for me again. I didn't have to go out and buy extra extra large clothes because I could fit back into my wardrobe. I started going back to the gym a lot more. I was only doing 2 sessions a week. That's all I could manage.
Mm.
But then I was going back to the gym a lot more than I used to. I was lifting a lot heavier. I was eating
Mhm.
clean food and feeling full. And I was developing a healthy lifestyle for myself, just
And
changing those habits.
have you and your husband enjoyed the food? Like it tastes good?
I love your recipes, Chanel. I have my favorites.
What are your favorites? Share with us
Um,
your favorites.
oh, there's the herb crusted fish.
It's
That
a good
one
one.
is
Yeah.
so easy to make and
Yes.
definitely a favorite of mine because I do love eating fish.
Yeah.
And my husband loves the meals. He loves them. He loves the oh, what was the little protein bites?
Oh, yes. Yes. Yeah.
I love how you call them. Your recipes have little
The
um
hormone helping.
little names to them. They're very cute.
That's
What's
so
marry
good.
me chicken? I
Yes.
love that one.
Maybe chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'd like to know how you come up with these names.
The Marry Me Chicken actually was a bit of a viral recipe that went through, like it's traveling around the world, and I just adapted it. So what happens, I'll give you guys a little insight into like the recipe library, is what happens is like a recipe will come across and I'll go, oh, that looks really good. And then I'll adapt it so it fits our macros. So the Marry Me Chicken in like the normal world has like full cream in it. And so from a calorie point of view, that would like blow out our calories. It would like make it that the portion sizes would be very tiny. So I changed the ingredients to make it fit into our macros so we can have a good amount of protein. Often, like the recipes, I'm adjusting to make sure that we're hitting protein because I like us to eat at least 30 grams of protein in a meal. So I'm adjusting protein and then usually fat content to make sure the calories fit. So that's kind of how I go about doing it. So yeah, the Marry Me Chicken is a version that has become healthier for us.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. Um, yeah, so look, the Facebook group is really good on the Thrive program, Chanel. I think it helps me keep on track. But not
Mhm.
only that, it is also listening to the other ladies' story and their journey because again, you don't feel alone. You're just like, oh yeah, wow, yeah, she's having those problems. That oh, I can relate to that.
Mhm.
Um, so it's really quite refreshing to have to have other ladies on the journey with you, and
Yeah.
it, like you said, it creates that community,
Mhm.
um, that you're not alone. So that's I really enjoy the Facebook groups, and it, like I said, it keeps you on track. It, but I must say, I think you need to remind yourself, which I think is really important, is to be kind to yourself. I know, Chanel, you've mentioned it to me on a few occasions.
Mm.
But not only to be kind to yourself, but to prioritize yourself
Mhm.
over others or other people in your family, because
Yeah.
women don't generally do that, do we,
No,
Chanel? Um,
no.
it's just taking the time to prioritize yourself. Look, there's times I think, oh, I've got to go and do the washing, and then
Mm.
you put that over cooking a meal. It's
Mm.
like, no, washing can stay.
Mhm. It'll be waiting.
I need to do my meal prep. That's my
Yeah.
priority because that's
Yes.
for me.
That's right, exactly right. So if we do what we don't prioritize, we don't do. So,
Mm.
and that's exactly right. The washing will be waiting for you. But if you don't have your food, then what are you going to eat? Like, so it's just creating those habits and behaviors. And so, hopefully, and I know this is the case because you haven't even shared how much weight you've lost yet with everyone, but you have created a completely new lifestyle for yourself, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely. And loving it. Absolutely loving it. I love the fact that I have energy to get up at 6:30 in the morning and jump on my exercise bike. Like, how good is that? I never used to be able to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm starting to feel like who I am again. And yeah, I've lost seven kilos. It just happened so quickly. It probably didn't, but in my mind, I felt like it did.
And
Um,
I think that's just because you have committed to the process. So in the program, we have like daily accountability in the Facebook group. And the reason for that is because, like Kylie was talking about, we're actually changing our life. Like we're changing. This isn't just about her losing 7 kilos, which is incredible. And yes, she's got her wardrobe back and she looks amazing. But it's not just about losing 7 kilos, it's about all the things she's learned along the way and created this new behaviors, new lifestyle that will now you will just keep progressing. And this is you now, like you're back, you know. And if we don't create that, yes, we might lose 7 kilos, but you'll just revert back because you haven't actually learnt the education about what you need to actually create the life that you love. So, and this is the difference. This is like the transformation, I suppose, that this program provides.
oh, absolutely. Like, I think some advice I'd also like to give out there is it does take time to change your bad habits.
Mhm.
Um, and just try and be consistent. I think
Mhm.
that's key. Consistent with with good habits.
Yeah.
Um, it's I guess 7 days is a very short time to be able to change, and change does take time.
Yeah.
Um, but it's almost like after a few weeks when you started working in the Thrive program, you're like, wow, you don't even think about it. It becomes automatic.
That's what we
That
want.
change will develop and change over time. And yeah, you've created good habits.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still working on the 3 liters of water a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's,
We all have things where I
yeah,
have the water is a thing for me as well.
yeah.
So,
Thank goodness we're heading towards summer, Chanel. We'll smash
yes,
it.
exactly. We all have things, and that's why, like, I have like a couple of protocols that we use to help us stay on track. That kind of makes us like aware of the areas that we need to like be trying to like improve on. Water is one of those areas for me as well. So this is like all a work in progress, you know. But how's your husband feeling about the new Kylie that's popped back?
Well, funny you should say that because I said to him the other day, I said, "Oh, so did you actually notice that I've lost weight?"
Yeah, the men.
He never said anything.
Yeah,
No, just went
yeah.
along, every day. He goes,
Thanks.
"Oh yeah, I noticed it quite a few weeks ago." I said, "Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah,
that's good."
good. Yeah, good that you said something. Thanks. It's so honestly, that whole Men Are From Mars thing, it's such a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, you have to like, prize it out of them. Like, thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, for the compliment.
I know, man,
That's
I know.
hilarious.
That's
It was.
why I think the program is actually really like helpful as well, because like you mentioned, there's like a whole lot of women journeying together, and there's something different about being able to share your experiences because sometimes they just don't get it, like they don't understand. And how can they? They're not
Mm.
experiencing this crazy thing that we're going through, so they don't get it. And so having other women to interact with, even if it's just on a post in the Facebook group, or we actually have a call every week. Well, we have 2 calls every week where a Zoom like this, where people can just tune in, bring their questions, share their experiences. It might be a win, it might be a challenge, whatever. And then we all support each other. And this is like really helpful, just being able to like you said, create those good behaviors and habits.
Yeah, look, like I said, consistency is the key. Creating those new lifestyle habits, um, and yeah, be kind to yourself. And at the end of the day, you're worth it, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely worth the time and the time and effort, devotion to yourself. Absolutely. And yeah, like I said, you just get your life back. I'm happier, a lot more happier, more energized. Yeah, still got to deal with a few symptoms,
Mhm.
but nowhere near none of those top 7
Mm.
anymore. Like I
So
don't
good.
have that inflammation. Um, and
That's
I,
success. That's
yeah,
success, knocking those 7 off,
knocking those 7 off, absolutely.
for sure.
And yeah, sure, still got a few that I need to manage, but that's nothing. It's funny though, I went to physio the other day because obviously I had a shoulder surgery, and
Yes.
he said to me, Kylie, the problem is you're not feeling enough pain because I'm overdoing my physio, right? My physio exercises. And I thought to myself, yeah, you know what? If you went through menopause,
Yeah. It's a
you would
different level.
know, you know what it feels like. The pain threshold, your pain
Mhm.
threshold is increased, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Right? I
That your
think I have a
tolerance,
very high pain threshold now.
tolerance for that like stuff is
Uh,
like large.
yep.
Yes. Your capacity definitely grows. So
Yeah.
if someone is listening in here and maybe they have tried like, 5 or 10 diets and they haven't had success, or they're feeling nervous, or, what would your advice be?
Yeah, look, I did feel a bit apprehensive going into the protein challenge. And I think that's why I wanted to listen to all your podcasts first.
Hmm.
Um, it is scary taking that first step.
Hmm.
Maybe scary is not the right word. Um, I probably was hesitant
Hmm.
and then procrastinated and yeah, just was in my head a lot, trying to determine, oh, I'm very insecure, I'm not very confident at the moment, don't know
Hmm.
whether I can do it. So all these thoughts are going through my head. Don't listen to your head, just do it.
Hmm.
That's my recommendation. Don't listen to what's going on in your mind because 100% your mind will convince you not to do it, right?
True.
It's
True.
like exercise. It's so
Hmm.
easy to listen to your mind and not do the exercise as
True.
opposed to push through those negative thoughts and do something positive and good for yourself. So,
True.
um, yeah, that's my recommendation. Don't listen to your head.
True. It's like I talk about, yeah, it's like I talk about you can't trust your feelings,
Yeah,
because your feelings sometimes actually are sabotaging you. It's
yes,
like today, if I was trusting my motivation, I wouldn't get to the gym. So I can't trust that feeling. I have to actually create and just go do it, and then yeah, so I
yeah,
love that,
yeah,
because the irony of it is that the mess menopause gets you in then sabotages you to be able to actually step forward and help yourself. So this is like a good thing to kind of highlight. So don't lean on your feelings too much. Just, what does the evidence show? Like, and maybe like Kylie said, if you are just new here, and just go listen to all of the podcasts. There's lots of stuff you can learn in there, and then see, implement those. Do they work? What does the research kind of show you? What does the evidence show you? The evidence shows you is that you are worth it and you can change this. And if Kylie and myself can do it, so can you.
yeah. And that's another reason what enticed me to do the protein challenge too, Chanel, was the evidence, like seeing you. And you're so natural and honest, which I love. But not only that, sorry, I lost my track of mind then. There's the brain fog coming
That's
in.
that's just the Gen X midlife. Like, we're used to that. That happens on the daily. That's just normal when you're a Gen Xer.
Yeah, yep. Um, look, I just say positive, um, be positive about joining the program. Um, it's just like Nike, right? Just do it. Just
Yeah,
absolutely, yeah. Positive self-talk.
love
Absolutely.
it. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm so proud of you. You have done an amazing job, and seeing you now, like, have yourself back, and this is the new Kylie, like, this is so exciting and rewarding to see where you've come from, and you've just been a delight to have like on board. So thank you so much, and thank you for sharing, because I know there's so many women who, need to put themselves first, like you said, and hopefully this will inspire them to take action.
Oh, absolutely, Chanel. Like I said, if you were around 10 years ago and if I was listening to this podcast, I would have been so grateful.
Yeah,
And that was the whole reason why I wanted to share my story, is because you don't have to suffer in silence. You're not alone. There
no,
is there is women out there that are more than happy to share their story and their journey. And look, I've loved the journey that I've been on so far with you, Chanel, and obviously still signing up for the Thrive program again. And I'm really looking
continuing
forward.
on.
Yeah, I think I'm addicted now. I'm addicted.
Well, we do have a good time, so it's a lot of fun as
Yes,
well, people. Like, it's a lot of fun. So
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm excited.
And that's true, Chanel. It's about laughing about it too. Like,
Yeah.
it is serious. Yes, it is a serious
Mm.
matter, but also having a laugh about, the symptoms that we do go through and experiences.
Yeah.
Um, and I
Talk
think
about
that's
Sept's
a
life.
lovely thing. Yes, yes,
But no one
yes,
does. So, like, this is the thing. This is a safe environment to be
yeah,
able to share about anything. And, the things that no one's talking about, we need to have a safe, open forum to be able to discuss like anything that's going on. And that's an important part of your relationship. So,
yeah.
all types of things, like, there's a lot that gets covered, believe me.
And I think because people feel embarrassed about it too. Absolutely, Chanel. You do feel
Yeah.
embarrassed about it. You do feel embarrassed you put on weight. You do
Yeah.
feel a little bit of shame. Um,
Mm.
but that's okay. That's okay. And this is what this program provides you. It is okay. It is okay to talk about it. And I love how you say it's a safe place, because it is. It's all confidential. I love that. And you do feel that you can talk about it openly, and that's really important. So great program, Chanel. Thank you so much.
Pumped for the next one. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yes,
Thank you
absolutely.
again. Thank you again for sharing
Thank
today. You're
you, Chanel.
amazing.
Okay, you have a great day.
You too.
Cheers. Bye.